Welcome to Pack Talk Podcast, episode 127. Don't forget, rate us and subscribe on your favorite podcast channel. Whether that's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, whatever you want. Pack Talk Podcast is there. Let us know how we're doing. Today we got Danny. He's a professional dog trainer at Canine Revolution Dog Training. So we're here to talk about Danny.
Hello.
Learn about him, hear from him, hear his experiences, his lessons learned. So, Danny, tell us where you're from originally.
I'm from Mashpee, Massachusetts. It's on Cape Cod. So, I grew up there. I was born and raised. Spent a lot of my time outside, doing outdoor activities.
Fisherman?
Such as, a little bit of fishing here and there, but mostly just like camping. It's like being outside, camping, boating, beach days, Cape Cod, lots of beaches.
Well, question about camping.
Yeah.
Are you doing like the old school camping with the tent or the new school camping with the RV?
I've never had a camper, dude.
Oh, really?
Well, I had a camper for a little bit. I went to like a NASCAR race with it.
Oh, really?
That was like the only time I ever
NASCAR
slept
race,
in
huh?
Yeah, dude.
Where was that at?
I don't remember what the speedway
Florida?
was called. But no, it was in Massachusetts. It might have been like Seekonk or something.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Okay.
But no, mostly camping.
Yeah.
Camping.
So
tents,
tell us about some of your
air
camping
mattresses.
experiences, because Ben here, he grew up camping.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did he?
In the freezing cold.
Yeah,
Allegedly freezing cold.
I did go camping in October. And, down here, October's not really cold.
Right.
But, up north, cold, dude. Not fun. But I used to go camping on an island called Washburn Island. We used to take the boat out there, with
you
the
take
family,
the boat, then
with
you
the
park
dogs.
the boat, then you camp.
Park the boat on the beach, dude, anchor it off the beach, go on. There's there's probably 11 campsites on the island. So, you reserve one, you go up, bring your stuff, bring the family, bring the dogs, dude, bring some food.
Yeah.
Go camping on the island, dude. It's great, dude.
Heck yeah, dude.
It's
Good
great.
times. Good times.
Yeah, raccoons. Raccoons lived on the island, Sometimes you wake up, you hear some rustling in the cooler. You're like, oh, you gotta get out of the tent,
dude, those guys are good about getting shit out of the cooler.
You gotta defend your resources, dude. Come on. But yeah, camping. It's a big one for me. I do love camping.
Nice.
I want to do some camping down here. Never been camping down here.
A lot of good places. I remember
That's what I
growing up
hear.
camping raccoons. We used to rig up the coolers with bungee cords so the raccoons couldn't get into it, and they'd still lift it up enough to get an arm in there. And
dude.
I remember we had a cheesecake in a cooler one time, and the raccoon freaking got the whole cheesecake out of a little crack. That shit was crazy.
I went camping. I was really young when this happened, but we went camping with my family in New Hampshire, and there was a bear.
Oh,
it was like we rented like a house, and there was a dumpster outside. And like I said, I don't remember, but I guess my dad went out there and ran the bear away or whatever. I don't know. But, yeah, but most of my camping experiences included raccoons and snakes.
There you go.
Found some snakes.
What kind of snakes? Do you know?
I don't know. I was
copperheads.
Not a snake. No, we don't have no copperheads. Garter snakes,
Okay.
regular snakes. Dude.
Well, if you're watching, two kiwis on the table right now, hanging out.
she's messing with
we
my
do get some
drink.
comments on our YouTube videos where we've kind of moved kiwi off the table before.
No,
nicely,
and everyone freaks out.
Everyone's like, "You slapped that guy." But
don't read the comments, dude. Don't read the comments.
Yeah, we don't read the comments. But one thing about camping growing up for me too is raccoons. I remember being at a campsite one time. Someone's dog got in a fight with a raccoon.
What?
And it was like, it's like crazy. I was like, holy shit. I don't know who won, but raccoons will fight, dude.
Dude, they're feisty, dude. I fed a raccoon a donut one time.
Oh, really?
I have a video of it. I'll have to show you. But I was at the back of a Dunkin' Donuts. My girlfriend used to work at a Dunkin' Donuts. Paige, dude. Shout out Paige.
Really?
Yeah,
Paige.
she would work at Dunkin' Donuts. She used to go over there, late at night, hang out in the back of the Dunkin' Donuts, dude. Get some free donuts. Because at the end of the night, they throw the donuts away, dude.
Do they really?
Oh, yeah.
So you're eating them.
So I'm eating them,
You and Paige.
and I'm feeding them to the raccoons.
Right.
I'll have to show you that video. It's a funny video. But
Shout out to Paige.
shout out raccoons.
But, raccoons are crazy, dude. They're
Yeah, they're
crazy.
crazy.
They're like cats. And I got a couple big ones that live out here, obviously. But what I really like is possums. I'm
Some
a big possum
opossums.
guy.
Opossums, dude.
They're cool.
Yeah, I've
And,
seen a couple possums.
I don't know if I told you.
I hit a
but,
possum.
You hit one?
Roadkill, yeah.
Not good to go.
I didn't mean to, dude.
You don't hit a possum, bro.
I didn't mean to,
They're
dude.
your friend.
He ran out in front of me, dude. It happens.
But a couple of weeks ago, there was a possum that got into my chicken coop at nighttime. I don't know if I told you this. He snuck in, and I heard the guineas going crazy. So, of course, I thought there was like a fox out there. So I run out the house with the dogs. It's like 1 a.m. I'm running around like, what the fuck's going on? And I look in the chicken coop, and there's a possum just sitting on one of the roosts next to a chicken. He's like next to Butch, and he's like sitting there. And I was like, what the heck? And the guineas are freaking out, because they don't like anything.
Going crazy, dude.
So I had to go in there. I grabbed him. I brought him out. I threw him into the woods. Called the dogs back so they wouldn't chase him. Where there's possums all over the place, dude.
Possum playing dead, dude.
Yeah. But anyway, so you grew up camping. Good times.
Spending
So
a lot
you
of
had
time.
dogs growing up.
Yeah, my whole life.
Tell us about your dogs growing up.
Well, when I was born to a house with a chocolate lab, which I don't remember. But I was also born into the house with a lab Rottweiler mix named Maddie. She was a good dog. I remember her.
Does she look more like a lab or more like a Rottweiler?
She had like the head of a lab, like all the coloring of a Rottweiler, and like the build of a Rottweiler. Like she was jacked.
Yeah,
she was definitely jacked.
Big girl,
she was a good dog. Yeah. And then we had a yellow lab named Rosie. She got sick with pancreatitis or something like that when she was like 9, so we had to put her down. And we got my dog Sophie. I still have her. She's old. She's 13. She's deaf.
That's the old lady in the house.
She's deaf, and the vet recently told us that she has demencia.
What?
I guess.
Really?
I don't know
How'd
for
the vet
sure.
know that?
I don't know.
They just looked at her. She's got dementia.
But yeah, so I have her. She's a mutt. She's a rescue. She was actually born in a drainage pipe in Tennessee. So she's from the South.
How'd you guys find all this out?
Just a rescue.
They told
like
you
a
whenever you
rescue.
went
They told us, but they it was her and like a litter of puppies, and the mom like ran away.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got her now. I got Macy, which I found after I moved down here on my way to work here.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah.
In the
So
morning.
tell us the story, Macy.
Yeah. So I was I don't know, it was like probably 5-10 minutes out of my neighborhood. So 10 minutes into my drive, and I'm driving down, just a dark road. It's 5:30 in the morning.
Country road.
And woods.
Yeah.
Woods. And then I see this. I thought she was a deer at first, dude, because she's tall. She's wicked lengthy. I was like, what the hell is that? So I'm driving. She like kind of wanders out like in front of my truck, dude. I almost hit her. So I stopped. Obviously, I didn't hit her.
Not like the possum you hit.
That was back home. So I, stopped. I assessed the situation, because I don't know what this dog's gonna do if I get out of this truck right now, But I'm like, hey girl, what's going on? Blah blah blah. And she's like coming up, she's wagging her tail and all that. So I'm like, and she's like running in and out of like traffic, like there's cars on the road.
Yeah.
I was like, this dog's gonna either cause an accident or get herself killed. Right. Here, I'll put whiskey on the table so our viewers are happy.
Yeah, there you go.
She just wants to hang out.
Yeah.
But anyways, I called my dad. I was like, hey, I gotta go to work. Like I was already late. I was like,
what time is it? This is in the morning,
This
right?
maybe not 5:30, maybe like 5:45, 6 a.m. But it was
Your dad's
dark.
up.
It was dark.
Or
Yeah,
you
he
woke
had
him
to
up.
go to. No, he was up. He had to go to some, work or something.
Okay.
But I called him up. I'm like, yo, I just found this dog on, whatever road I was on. I was like, it's gonna, either get itself killed or, cause an accident, like I said. So I was like, can you come, like, I don't know, take it to a shelter or something, because I gotta go to work.
Right.
So after I got off the phone with him, I left.
Oh, you did?
First, dude. Yeah, I left.
Oh, you left her there?
I left her, dude.
Okay.
And I felt bad, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, no way I'm leaving this dog. But I was like, but I see stray dogs all the time, so I can't save every stray dog I find, right?
Right.
So I don't know, I probably drove like 50 yards, 100 yards, and there's a car, going, towards where she was. So I'm looking in my mirror. I see the car slam on the brakes, dude. I see Macy run from in front of the car. Like I see her in the headlights. So I was like, nope. So I turn around. I was like, I can't let this dog get killed. So I went back, hopped out of my truck, right? Tried to she was wicked, nervous, wicked hesitant to come up to me. She was wagging her tail, definitely like a little, like I said, nervous.
Nervous
But I gave her some, potato chips.
Nice.
Potato chips.
So you had some laying in your truck.
Well, it was my lunch, dude. I shared my lunch with her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. So I gave her some chips, get some snacks to gain her trust, get her, chill, not run away from me, run to the road or anything like that. So I, hung out with her for a little bit. So my dad showed up, and I'm like, hey, I got to go to work. Can you take a dog to the shelter? Blah, 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 whatever. So he's like, all right. So the shelters were closed too early in the morning. So he put her in, this fenced-in area. It was like an RV park or something like that. So I was like, after I get out of work, I'll go to this, fenced-in area. I'll see if she's still there. Side note, that day was the day I locked my keys in my truck.
Oh, are you serious?
You remember that? Yeah, and I was here for an hour.
It was that day?
It was that day, dude.
Oh, my God.
And I called my mom. I was like, Mom, I locked the keys in the truck, dude. I need you to come. I need you to take the tools and help me break into my truck. But so yeah, figured that out. Went back to where my dad put her. She was still there. Sunburnt, like wicked skinny, like a mess, dude. A mess. She had like calluses all over her, chewed up tail. She was a mess. So I scooped her up, put her in my truck. Thought she was gonna bite me at first, because like I picked her up and she got wicked rigid. I was like, oh shit. I was like, this might not be a good idea. But I just picked her up slow, put her in my truck. She was like wicked anxious, freaking out, like not like pacing around, but she was like just hacking,
breathing, slobbering and shit.
Just stressed out. But anyways, I took her to the shelter. And I had to wait like a week or so to see if anyone claimed her. They scanned her for a microchip. She had no microchip. So I was like, don't, worst comes to worst. Like, if no one claims her, like, I don't want you to put this dog down. I was like, I'll take her. So I, put down my information, all that. And about a week later, I called them. They didn't even call me. I called the shelter. I was like, hey, what's going on with this dog? Yeah. And they're like, no one's claimed her, blah, blah, blah. Like, we'll give it one more day and then you can come get her. So I was like, all right. So I brought my other dog, my older dog, Sophie, that was born in the drainage pipe, brought her because the shelter wanted to like make sure that they got along or whatever. So, brought her. They were good to go. Brought her home, dude. She's crazy. She's crazy, dude. She's off the wall. She's chewing shit around the house, dude. Peeing and pooping everywhere.
Oh my god.
I'd probably never been in the house before. Like she was all over the place. Hyperactive. Right. Like I said, skinny. Had worms, heartworms.
Everything.
Can I swear?
You can swear. I've already cussed a couple times. So you're good.
Heartworms, tapeworms. She was a mess. So, I addressed her anxiety and when I found her, I was still a fresh apprentice, so I didn't really, know exactly what I was doing. But
you were still in phase one, right?
Yeah.
So
I took my basic information, my basic knowledge.
Like low level apprentice.
Exactly. I'm brand new. It's
you're a white shirt apprentice.
Like probably my second month in, maybe like first month or something. But yeah, nursed her back to health, trained her up. Now she's good to go.
She's good to go.
Healthy weight.
Bring her to work
she was like, brought her yesterday. Yeah. Good to go. But she was like 55 pounds when I found her. Now she's like just under 80, like 78, 77, I believe.
She's looking good.
She's looking good. She's healthy.
Living happy.
Shiny coat. Yep. I don't feed her raw, unfortunately. I can't afford it.
Do what you got to do.
It's too pricey for me.
Do what you got to do.
Throw some eggs in there.
Get some potato chips in there every once in a while.
Every once in a while. Sweet treat. But yeah, Macy, that's my dog.
You have worked through some stuff with her.
Yeah.
The reactivity and all that.
Reactivity, anxiety. Yeah. Because the reactivity is more so like, coming from just the anxiousness. Like she's like, I've had like off-leash dogs run up to me and she doesn't attack them. Right. And once she gets to her, like she's a dominant dog, but like she doesn't like try to like dominate most dogs that she comes in contact with. Right. So like I think more so of like her reactivity was like like I said, coming from the anxiety, just coming from like she wants to interact with this dog and I'm not letting her, right? She has these expectations that I'm holding her to, so that's like, causing some, frustration in her head. So I had to teach her how to, think properly under that, high arousal, if you will, and when she's anxious like that. So, but now she's very good. Like she sees a dog or she hears a dog barking, she defaults to looking at me. Yeah. So, just keep repping that out and just good to go.
Well, tell us about how you started the path of becoming a dog trainer. How did that even start? I remember you reaching out. I don't know exactly what. I don't know if it was Indeed or something else.
It's about a year ago this month. Okay. I think my interview was like February 29th of last year. But how did I start?
Or you looked on the calendar?
I looked on the calendar like a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I mean, I didn't just like wake up one day and was like, I want to work with dogs. You know what I mean? It was more so like, days, weeks, months of not knowing what I wanted to do and struggling in that aspect and being like, working dead end jobs that I hate, waking up every day, going to a job that I hate, like I think, those experiences alone kind of was like, hey, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. Right. Especially like I'm working these jobs and I'm seeing people who have been doing these jobs for 5, 10, 15 years and how miserable their lives might be, and how they just like aren't having a good time with their jobs. I was like, do I want to be there in 15 years? You know? Fresh out of high school, I'm just like kind of doing my thing.
They're drinking 3 Monsters a day. They're like, fuck.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Just like like I said, dead end jobs, like nothing with like a real future. So, that, I think very quickly I was like, I just not what I want to do. I want to do something that I like to do, something that I enjoy to do, something that I'm passionate about, So I obviously, like I said, I, grew up with dogs around, in my family my whole life growing up. And, just naturally had a love for animals. Right. So I was like, let me try something that, I don't have any experience in it. I don't know a lot about it, but it's something that I think I might, have a passion for. I think I might like to do. I think I might like to wake up and go to work to do this every day.
Yeah.
So basically I just, I originally started looking for like service dog jobs, like, training dogs for like people with like disabilities or, veterans, PTSD, things like that. Right. And upon this search, came across Canine Revolution. I was like, it's like 30 minutes from where I'm moving from. Because I was still looking. I was looking for jobs while I still lived in Massachusetts for down here, because I knew I was moving down here.
Right.
So, like I said, came across CRDT, phone interview with Chad. I was nervous.
Do you remember your application process? Remember your application process?
I remember like watching the videos. I applied on Indeed.
Oh, because you had applied for the trainer position right out the gate.
Yeah, for the apprenticeship. On Indeed. Found it on Indeed as I was looking for just like jobs that included, like I was even looking at like zoology jobs, like doing stuff with like just working with like animals in general, and like being outside every day.
Yeah.
But so that's like what I want to do. I want to be outside, because I had worked jobs where I was inside all day, in the same place all day, doing the same thing every day, and that sucks.
I see people working inside. I'm like, golly,
dude,
it's gotta suck.
Can't do it. Especially like you grow up outside all the time.
Right.
It's like that's your comfort zone.
Right.
You don't want to be cooped up inside.
Right.
Like I used to work at a Jiffy Lube. Shout out Jiffy Lube. I used to work in a sweaty, hot basement, dude.
In the pit,
In the pit, dude. Doing oil changes. So I was like, I did that for like a year and a half. I was like, I'm not doing this no more. And then, I wanted something that, I was like to do, something that I would be passionate about, but also want to be outside every day. I also wanted to do something that was not repetitive. I didn't want to do something that was doing the same thing every single day. So it was like working with dogs. Obviously, like you're working with the same dogs some days, or for a couple of weeks at a time. But it's like each day you might be teaching that dog something new. Might be taking that dog somewhere new. Something like that. So it's not like, just doing the same thing every day. Yeah. So that was my main thing.
So you applied.
I applied. Yep.
You watched the video, because if you're applying for the trainer, you get a video.
Yep.
It's like 30 minutes. You hear me talk.
And Kevin was in it, and Chris was in it.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Oh. So what were you thinking when you watched that? Do you remember?
I'm not sure. I mean, I was definitely like, damn, like this sounds like something to do. Like sounds like something I'd like to do. Yeah. But I was like, it also sounds like a lot of, responsibility, a lot of work. I'm 20 years old at the time when I'm watching this video. So I'm like, holy shit. Like, am I gonna, like, this is a lot. Like, I've never had to do something this, intense. With this much, this intense, like this much, responsibility. But I think very quickly I was like, this is something I want to try. Because, like my main thing was like in high school was like, let me try things that I think I'll like to do. Let me try these things. If I don't like it, I'll try something else. Right. But this was the first thing that I like kind of pulled the trigger on. Right. And, rest is history, basically.
So then you did the phone interview.
Yep, phone interview with Chad.
Do you remember the phone interview?
Yeah, I was nervous, dude.
Oh, were you?
I was nervous. Yeah, I was like, well, I don't know, because I watched the video. I followed you guys. I think I told you this. I followed you on social media.
That's right.
On Facebook before I even applied.
Right. That's right. That's how you saw a video.
Yeah. So when I was watching, I did on Facebook, I believe, or Instagram, something like that. So I'm seeing you on there, dude. I'm seeing everything you're talking about. I'm like, damn. This guy's legit.
You're like, we're intense.
This guy's legit, dude. So I'm on the phone with you, dude, and I don't remember like exactly what we were talking about. You were just basically asking me questions and things like that. Yeah. And then from there, phone interview went well. Scheduled an in-person interview for after I moved down here. And first question you asked me was, "How's the drive?" Which is always the first question, even when you interview people today.
Yeah. You hear me ask them now. You're like, there it is.
If you say, "Oh, it sucks," you're not getting hired. that's the first. You got to pass that first test, dude. Yeah. But yeah, so phone interview, in-person interview, phase 1 apprenticeship, phase 2, phase 3, so on and so forth.
So when you're doing your apprenticeship, what were your main struggles, if you remember them, or main learning curves?
Wait, say that again?
Main struggles or main learning curves, or maybe even what was your first day like?
Well, I got bit my first day.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember. I got bit twice.
I remember you got bit your first day.
I did. Didn't shoo me away, though. But
now you're around. I was like, I guess this guy's good to go.
Yeah, dude. That was the first test, dude. Stress test right there. that dog that bit me that first day, I did work with people.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up walking that dog.
Mm-hmm.
That dog's, I'm still cool with that dog today.
Yeah.
When it comes back for boarding and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, first day got bit twice. Good to go though. Passed that test. But otherwise,
Well,
like
you did
struggles.
rip your pants or something.
Yeah, I did rip my pants. But like main things I struggle with the going through the apprenticeship. I think the first thing I struggled with was especially once you get a little deeper into the apprenticeship, like time management and being able to manage multiple different things at once, like having the mental, capacity, if you will, to really keep track of all these things.
Right.
You have your 5, 6, 7 dogs that you're training.
Mm-hmm.
You got to keep track of like, okay, this dog's pooping in the kennel. This dog, is doing this. I need to teach this dog this. This dog needs more reps in this certain, thing, this certain aspect of training.
Right.
So I think juggling all that at first was definitely hard because I had never had to do that, I guess. Like I never had to, keep track of so many things at once. And it, also like on call week, I'm scheduling phone calls, I'm scheduling appointments,
right.
I'm handling like plenty of other stuff outside of my dog. So like that was a big one too. Like just keeping track of all that stuff. But like, I feel like, experience, repetitions of, doing those things, keeping track of those things, and just kind of like also, using your tools. I've never used the reminder app on my phone so much until I started working here. Yeah, so I think that was the main thing I struggled with. My second struggle, I would say, was like the social skills aspects, like properly, just like, properly talking to people, I guess, and like, maybe adapting how you talk to certain people, like, depending on what ways certain people learn best, because like we're teaching people a brand new skill that they've never done before. So it's like not everyone learns the same. You know what I mean? But I think like that, and also like, I hate to say like sales, but like we are in like the sales business too. So I think I've never been a salesperson before, so that was a brand new skill for me to learn. So like learning all that, just like getting smooth with it. At first, like, you're not confident with it, especially you've never done it before. You're not comfortable, you're not confident.
Right.
But I think after getting reps of doing it and, having the guidance from you guys, I think that helped me a lot through that.
Yeah.
And just like, really developing those social skills and just really learning people.
Yeah.
Cause I've worked some jobs with like customer service, but nothing this in depth.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think after, you get repetitions, you get comfortable with it, then it was pretty good from there.
Yeah.
But
one of the things you have to do in your apprenticeship is basically go through a classroom phase where you get taught the fundamentals of dog training, science behind dog training,
dog behavior.
Yep. So you're doing that with me and Chris and the other apprentices that were with you. And during that process, I got majorly injured.
Yep.
So then
ACL.
I'm out there teaching you guys.
In a wheelchair. In a wheelchair. With his leg propped up. Poor me, dude.
Yeah.
All drugged up on painkillers, dude.
We're still teaching, though. We're still getting after it. But at the end of that classroom phase, you got to take a test.
Yeah.
That's a big test, right? It's a long test.
Yeah,
a lot of information.
5-6 hours.
Tell me about your classroom phase and learning that. Was that easy for you, difficult? Was the test hard? Was it easy?
I mean, no, the test wasn't easy. The test was stressful, because like, and I also like definitely had an issue with like overthinking, especially like early in the apprenticeship.
Right.
Overthinking, you're taking an important test that you got to pass. It's like, yeah, I'm overthinking every single question, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, the test wasn't easy, but I felt, relatively confident. But like the classroom was like, I don't know, a lot of it is just studying, and paying attention. Some days like I might not have as much energy. I might be tired. I might be dozing off a little bit, but you got to stick through it, and just like, especially if you're really devoted and, putting your effort into what you're learning, you know what I mean? If you're motivated to learn. So I think that was like a thing for me too. Cause like in high school, like I didn't do bad in high school, but I was like average. I could have done better if I cared more. So I think learning about something that I was very interested in definitely helped me through, just helped me, relatively pick it up and learn it. And obviously, like I said, studying. Yeah. It's a big part of it. A lot of hours outside of being here at home, looking through this information,
studying
making sure
all
I
the
know
time,
my stuff. Yeah, dude.
Studying, memorizing.
Exactly.
Understanding, though. It's not just memorizing; it's understanding the material to apply it.
Exactly. You got to be able to apply it to the job. You be able to look at a dog and be like, okay, this dog is feeling this, or this dog is about to, act this way because this just happened, or whatever might be happening in front of you. But yeah. So I think I don't think it was like a struggle for me or anything like that. But I think it was definitely. You've got to be along for the ride because it's long. It's grueling. It can be grueling, especially like you work a shift. You work that morning shift, 6:30 in the morning to 12, and then right after that you're going to 2-3 hours of class, dude. You better have some discipline, dude. You better have some stamina.
Right.
You better mental stamina.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was good.
You get through that, you pass your test. And then you're starting to train dogs.
You
remember your first couple dogs you were training and what that was like, just getting your hands on dogs?
Yeah, I think I feel like I'm a very hands-on learner, so I think that really came the easiest for me. It was like learning how to train dogs, learning how to read dogs, how to read their behavior and all that. Yeah, I think that came relatively easy for me. I liked it. I think I immediately, pretty much, like even before my tests and all that, I think I very quickly fell in love with it, and I was like, "This is what I want to do."
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Well, you got some intense dogs to start off with.
Yeah, it's crazy dogs. Nothing.
You had some dogs that were reactive, some dogs that were aggressive, some dogs fighting.
Yep.
Yeah, fighting dogs, and the special cases too.
Yeah.
Special case fighting and all that. What were you like as you're going through this process? I know you're meeting with your supervising trainer a lot. And because my ACL was torn, I don't think I was training dogs with you for a while.
No.
I think you were doing Chris and Kevin, right? And
and Aaron,
dogs with them. But, you start getting these dogs, you start having to troubleshoot, figure out things, progress them, I know you said it was a lot to take on at first and time managing.
Yeah.
But do you remember any scenarios specifically of things that were, interesting to you or that like opened your eyes or you're like, okay, this is definitely different for every dog that's coming in here?
Well, I think like my first, I think I started off with 3 dogs at first. I think my first 2 were very insecure dogs. So it was and then I had after that I had some dogs that were more confident, some dogs that progressed a little bit quicker through the through the program. But I think that very quickly, just having those dogs that you need to take your time with, maybe do some extra reps with, make sure everything is motivating and positive for them. And then having a dog that's very confident, that's just happy-go-lucky, just motivated to learn.
Right.
I think right there, it's these dogs don't learn the same as people. No person learns the same, no dog learns the same.
Right.
Each dog has their different possible limitations or different struggles with certain things that they're learning. But I mean, and then you have dogs that are a legitimate risk to you and maybe people that you're working around. So it's you got to take extra precautions with certain dogs like that. It's might have to teach this dog certain dogs just different ways. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, I think very quickly you figure that out. It's not every dog's the same, even just working as an assistant and working with, 25, 30 dogs every day. Not every dog you take is gonna heal the same, gonna sit the same, gonna down view the same.
Right.
Some dogs are gonna test you more. Some dogs are gonna not want to interact with you. So you just you gotta troubleshoot all those things.
Well, I know you had some scenarios when you were an assistant where other assistants were nervous of working with certain dogs.
Yeah.
Scared of particular dogs, and you're like, get out of the way, I'll handle this dog.
Well, it wasn't always like that. But, some days, you got one of those dogs that don't want you to reach around its neck to take that collar off. Collar's got to come off, dude.
Right,
so,
exactly.
You got to get it done.
Or they got to go in their kennel if they don't want to go in the kennel.
Some dogs don't want to go in the kennel. Right. Yep. We had a Rottweiler, big Rottweiler, did not want to go in the kennel. It's probably a 150-pound dog. Did not want to go in the kennel.
Right.
We had to wrangle him in the kennel with assistants, dude.
Right.
We're not trainers, dude. We don't. We're assistants, dude. We're kids, basically.
Right.
We're brand new to this. We're wrangling these dogs. Sometimes some dogs take 2 people, dude.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
And then, we had this one dog that was growling at one of the other assistants. Was growling. He had his remote collar on. We were trying to take that off of him. He was growling. He was clearly communicating hey, I don't like this. And whoever the assistant was at that time was hey, I don't feel comfortable doing this. You want to switch spots? I was like, sure, dude. Whatever. Fine, dude. Okay. So I reach in there. He's growling at me.
Yeah.
I'm looking at him. I'm like, I'm ready. I'm ready. I was like, this dog might try to tune me up real quick, dude. I reach in there. I just, slowly take that collar off.
Mm-hmm.
She's growling at me the whole time. Take the collar off. He's good.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, was that hard, dude?
Yeah.
But good to go. But yeah, you will have those situations where you might need to step up.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you're an apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
That's what y'all are looking for.
Right.
Looking for people to step up in those hard situations.
Right.
So yeah, I definitely had to step up a couple times.
Well, you were an apprentice training dogs with me. We
Mm-hmm.
had those 2 dogs that were fighting.
Yep.
And we had done our full progression. Everything's looking
Mm-hmm.
beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
because for the listener, when we're training dogs, especially dogs that have fought in the past, we have a training progression. It's not like we're taking dogs that are fighting and throwing them together on day one.
Right,
We have
right.
a progression.
Mm-hmm.
Every dog has to meet certain criteria before we can introduce 2 dogs working together.
Mm-hmm.
They have to meet certain checkpoints and prerequisites before they go into that phase of their training.
Mm-hmm.
So we met everything. Everything's looking beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Danny are out there. We're walking. Danny had one dog. I had the other dog. I'm
Mhm.
like, hey, these dogs will be fine. These
Yeah.
dogs will be fine. We had a bunch
They're
of clients
They're
doing
good.
private lessons on the property. Me and Danny are walking
People
around.
everywhere. There's assistants walking around. People everywhere. It's a show.
Right, people
it's a show.
everywhere. Private lessons going on with Chris and Kevin.
Mhm.
Assistants are working their shift. Me and Ben's there recording videos.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, all right, Danny, you're going to take both leashes. You're going to get both these dogs together. You're just going to have them walk together,
Yep.
right? As soon as he grabbed the leashes, these dogs go into a full-on battle.
Well, dude, I grabbed the leashes. They were both in the downstage, right
Oh,
next,
okay.
right next to each
Okay,
other.
okay.
I stood on one side of them, had the leashes. I was
Mhm.
like, heel. As soon as I said heel, instant chaos, dude. They went at each other,
They started battling.
latched on, dude.
Oh,
We
yeah.
had to,
Oh, yeah. Chris ran down there. He paused his lesson. He started
yeah, he was like,
running.
hold on a second.
Right. Me and Danny are like, we got this. We got this. We were
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to troubleshoot, figure it out. So
Yep.
we get the dogs separated.
Mm-hmm.
We start walking again. We're like, okay, now we got to do it again,
Mhm.
but we have to do X, Y, Z. I forgot what we did differently. But we're like, all right. So Danny did the same thing. They did it again. We're
Mhm.
like, all right, we got a big problem on our
Mhm.
hands,
Yeah.
because they had met all the progression, all the prerequisites.
Yeah, they're great by themselves, dude.
Right,
They
but
can walk, with 2 handlers.
Right.
Shoulder
right,
to shoulder,
Yep.
feet apart. They're fine.
Right.
You
But
know?
as soon as one person was working with them, they could not handle that.
As
So
soon as they're in direct contact, dude.
So we did a lot more troubleshooting after that and continued to work with those dogs. But that's just one example of everything you think is going to happen the right way when it comes
Doesn't
down
always
to
go as
time.
planned, dude.
You don't know
Sometimes
what's-
shit hits the fan, bro.
Right? And sometimes dogs don't respond even if they're highly trained, because those dogs were both well trained by that point
yeah.
individually.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as they got together, their mindset, their arousal shifted like crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
it's like you have dogs like that have, years of reinforcement history of fighting. So it's like they
Right.
see each other. That's their default.
Right.
It's like either
Right.
I'm getting away from you
Mhm.
or we're going to the death. Dude.
Right.
And these
Right.
dogs, it was fight or flight at
Right.
that point. Like
Right.
either they avoided each other or if they were in direct contact, they were too close, they went
Yep.
after each other.
Yep.
So it's like, that's just like, it's ingrained in their minds.
Right.
It's like, when I see this dog, we got to fight.
right,
And
exactly.
that's,
But Danny's had a lot of
Had some hard dogs.
hard cases
Yep.
as an apprentice.
Yep.
And then whenever you were about to get to your certification, you had another hard case. But some of the other things you had to do during your apprenticeship process was you had to start talking to people on the phone, doing the on-call trainer stuff, training your dogs, troubleshooting your dogs. But you also had to do in-home consultations.
Mm-hmm.
What do you remember from your in-home consultations?
Ooh, those were hard, dude. They were hard. It was, it was the same with like a lot of things in the apprenticeship. Like when I first started doing the videos, first time I was on camera shooting videos, talking to,
That's true.
basically talking to clients through, a camera.
got
That was
that camera nervousness.
that was hard at first. Right. I mean, now I'm used to it. You know,
Right.
I've done so many videos, but like at first, it was definitely like out of my comfort zone. You know what I mean? But like repetitions, getting comfortable with it. Also having the guidance from Ben here.
Ben's standing there behind the camera just watching you.
He's but also give me guidance, dude. Also give
Yeah,
me guidance.
yeah.
It's like, what are you talking points? What are we talking about here?
Yeah.
So
He knows the
that
videos.
helps.
He knows the videos.
He does know the videos. He's
He's
been
doing
doing
them
it
for a
while.
long time.
Exactly. Ben's a good resource. He
Uh-huh.
offered me some guidance for those. But even just like, phone calls, first couple phone calls were rough.
Mm-hmm.
Got through those, got comfortable with them.
Mm-hmm.
Good to go.
Mhm.
First consultations were rough.
Mm-hmm.
Got comfortable with them.
Mhm.
Repetitions,
Mhm.
got confident, then smooth sailing from there. But yeah,
Right.
at first, definitely rough.
Yeah.
Definitely rough because it's like, you know, especially when you first walk in, like, you don't know what you're walking into. First of all, you know, it could be a problem dog that you don't know about. Could be, you know, very scared dog. Could be a dog that's, you know, happy-go-lucky. You
Could be a problem
don't know what
person.
you're walking into. Exactly. You don't know whose house you're walking into. You know what I mean? So that's another thing. But also being able to observe, you know, the situation once you walk in there, you know, observe the person, be able to read that person, be like, what is this person really, you know, this person might be talking to you, but what are they really looking for here? You know what I mean? What do they really care mostly about?
Yeah, they might not tell you directly what their main concerns are. They may kind of hide that with other things.
Exactly.
Maybe because they don't want their dog to seem like a bad dog, which there's no bad dog, you know.
Of course not.
But maybe they just are embarrassed about certain things, you know, but they will change up what they're saying to kind of shield things, and you got to figure out what the real problem is.
You got to acknowledge that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But also you got to be able to, you know, focus on this person, but also, you know, talk about their dog, you know, look at their dog, read their dog's body language, explain to them what they're seeing, what we're seeing, you know, and what we're going to do to, you know, troubleshoot that specific dog's, you know, issues or whatever that might be, behavioral issues. But so, yeah, I think, yeah, like I said, at first they were rough, but, you know, I got confident with it. I did like, a lot of them, got used to them, and that was pretty good.
Well, one thing I like doing with the apprentices is doing the consultations. I have a good time.
Yeah, well, you know, you do a consultation with Chad, you better beat him to the punch, dude, because he'll beat you. If you don't talk for those first 3 seconds, he's butting in.
Rule of thumb is if you're an apprentice and you're going into a consultation for part of your certification, and I have to talk,
you fail.
You fail that consultation.
But I mean, Chris told me if you can reel it back in, it might be it's a 50-50.
You might be able to win that one over.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'd walk into a house with Danny and I'd give him a couple seconds to establish himself, and if he wasn't there, I'd just start talking.
Yeah,
you know?
He'd just take over. He'd just dominate the situation. But you know, but then you know, I think because like towards like the end of it, like you guys were just like, you know, just go do them on your own. You know, get used to doing them. You know, with either these people sign up or they don't. You know, just get used to doing it. Get used to talking to these people. Get comfortable, you know, doing this thing. And then I think after like those first couple of like doing them on my own, I was like, okay, I got my groove down. You know, I like because now
because you're probably nervous with me in the house with you.
Right, that's an extra you know pressure factor, if you will.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was more nerve-wracking with you than like Chris or Kevin.
Oh, for sure,
dude. Because Chris, Kevin are just they're hanging out.
Yeah. Kevin's definitely just hanging out. Kevin's just hanging out. He's like whatever. You know?
Yeah. But I mean, a lot of it too was like on things that like you guys would butt in on, if you will, like just like explain, was a lot of like experience based, you know, just things that you observed or you know, through your years of seeing these things too. So I think that was a big one. I think, you know, the more experience you get in something like this, the more confident you'll get with, you know, being able to explain to somebody like, hey, you're not second guessing yourself anymore because you're sure. You know what I mean? So I think that was the main thing for me, like overthinking it, overthinking what I'm saying, you know, second guessing myself, like I said. But yeah, I think it was all just like a confidence level. Like once I kind of gained some confidence, got comfortable with it, I was pretty good to go.
And the whole way through the apprenticeship, whether you're doing a consultation or whether you're training a dog, you're constantly getting debriefs where you're talking to your supervisor about
talking about what you could have done better.
Right, these
mistakes
are things that
you
happen.
might make.
This could be done better. You would want to say this. You would not want to say that.
Right.
This might apply to this person. This wouldn't apply to this dog. It's just a lot of information.
Right, it is.
You know, like you said, experience kind of plays into that.
I mean, when I was going to the apprenticeship, you guys called it the fire hose method.
Right.
So you're throwing me into the fire, basically.
Yeah, you're getting everything, you know.
Yeah, dude. I had, you know, some late night vet visits, you know, a bunch of crazy nonsense.
Dude, you did have a lot of back-to-back, you know, dogs having allergic reactions. You got to take them to the vet. You know, this happens with the dog. You got to take them to the vet.
Exactly.
You know?
Yep. There was one dog had an allergic reaction to something out here, and I wasn't on call, but I, you know, got the phone call from Chris. It was probably like 9:30 at night. It was like at the end of PM shift. It's like, hey, this dog's got hives on him, blah, blah, blah. He's got to go to the vet. So I was like, all right, I'll be right there. So it was like, I probably get here at like 10:30 maybe. Yeah. Take the dog to the vet. You know, I'm sleeping in my truck because like it's like I said, it's late and I'm tired, dude. I got to work the next morning. Right. I wake up, it's like 2-3 in the morning or something like that.
And those vets take a long time.
They take a long time, dude. Yeah. To, you know, pump them full of, you know, Benadryl and meds and whatever else. So I was waiting, sleeping in my truck, you know, until, like I said, I woke up like 3 in the morning, went in, got the dog. I had to hit a 24-hour pharmacy, get some more Benadryl for him, you know. And then I got home probably like 4 a.m. Had to wake up at like 6:30 to go to work the next day. That was a rough one. But
we've all been
that was
there,
that was
you know?
relatively that was relatively early in my apprenticeship. But I definitely had some stress tests, some just things I had to work through.
Really, what do you find helps you deal with the stress if you get stressed at this point? I know like early in the apprenticeship, of course you're getting stressed because you got a lot on your plate. You're trying to learn all this stuff. All these things are happening very rapidly. But as that happens, you probably figure out ways to deal with stress. What are some of the ways that you like to deal with stress?
I mean, sometimes you might be working with a dog. You might get stressed out, like, oh, this dog's not picking it up. This dog's just being stubborn. Or I don't know. You're getting frustrated.
Right.
Because dog training and all, playing with the puppies.
Right.
Playing with the golden retrievers, the happy-go-lucky dogs. Sometimes you work with some dogs that really, just really, frustrate you. Might stump you on something. You might not be sure. So it's like you got to know when to be able to take a break and take a step back and be like, all right, I got to go, I got to go eat some food or something like that. I got to go hang out for a little bit.
Right.
But also at the end of the day, being able to not overwork yourself, but like dealing with stress, I like I said earlier, I like spending a lot of time outside. So like I'll do a lot of that. Like after work, if I'm stressed, if I have a long day at work, multiple appointments, got a bunch of dogs, whatever, I might be stressed out about something. I'll go home. I might work with my dog. I might go on a walk in the woods with my dog. I might just go on a bike ride or something like that. Just something out, usually outside. Or if I want to be inside, I'm playing some video games. Dude.
There you go.
Sometimes video games.
Hanging out with the dog, playing the
decompressor.
games.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
dude. I mean, sometimes you come home after training dogs all day. Last thing you want to do is train your own dog. Right. That's
the thing people don't think about either. They want to be a dog trainer.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm just going to be hanging out with my dog all day.
Nope.
You got to train the dogs that are your responsibility to train.
Exactly.
That you're getting paid to train.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, and, it's like the same with every other job. It's like I used to do landscaping. I'm landscaping all day. I come home, my mom's like, "You mow the lawn?" I'm like, I've been doing that all day. I've been doing that for 9 hours, dude. So it's like the same deal. It's like you just want to relax, dude.
Right.
So I think being able to relax, being able to kind of decompress, whatever that might be that you do, is definitely important. Just kind of have that outlet.
Yeah.
As long as it's a healthy outlet.
Yeah.
You don't want to be going home and doing crazy nonsense and hurting yourself or anything like that.
What are some of your craziest stories up to this point when you working here at Canine Revolution with guys like Chris? He's kind of crazy.
Chris is crazy.
Or Kevin. Kevin's a wild card.
Yeah.
You got any stories that popped to your head?
I mean, not nothing too crazy. I mean, me and Chris had one hard dog together. He bit probably a handful of people here while he was here, probably like 4 or 5 people while he was here. He was a liability, to say the least. But I mean, he was like, I built a very strong bond with that dog. A lot of hand feeding, a lot of repetitions, just like working with him. But I mean, no like crazy stories or anything like that. Like he was a crazy dog. But like I think the main thing with him was like, outside of working with him, like I wasn't afraid I was gonna get bit. I'm afraid I'm gonna leave, get a phone call at 7 at night, like, oh, this dog just bit somebody. Blah blah blah. You gotta come in. Like that was the main stress factor. Like make sure all the protocols are in place, make sure people are safe.
Right.
But now when that dog comes here for boarding and things like that, like he's trainer only. It's only me and Chris handling that dog because he's too much of a liability. Because we can't have assistants getting bit. We can't have assistants going out of work and things like that.
Right.
So I mean, no, I'm not like really any crazy stories with that dog. Or I think the crazy story is probably like that dog that we trained, those 2 dogs, those fighting dogs.
That was wild.
That was a wild case for sure. But yeah, I had a dog recently that I was doing his nails. He bit me around the hand. This dog in particular was very dominant, hyper dominant, as Kevin would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, that dog is. He had some resource guarding issues. I did some exercises, just being able to walk past a bowl of food, and have the food. I'd have the food on the right of me. I'd have him, left of me, just hold him to a heel position, just make sure he can operate with, food in the picture.
Right.
And he would try to bite my legs, bite my feet to get to the food.
Right.
So
frustrated.
Yeah. So that was a something that we troubleshooted. But I mean, no, not too many crazy stories.
Well, you've got a dog right now you're training that's like they found it. Right, it's a rescue dog, Buddy.
Oh,
and,
Buddy.
He was scared of cars.
Very, very much. He would he didn't want to walk up to the car. He had some sort of association to the car. I don't know if he, got ditched out of a car or, something bad happened, a negative experience, traumatic experience.
Right.
Seems to be what happened, or he's just petrified of cars because he's never been in a car before.
Right.
Because that would be a factor too. So it's like,
right.
You can't assume things like that. But all you can do is like, address the problem, work the problem as it is in front of you.
So what'd you do with this dog to help him with this car problem?
Repetitions, dude. Yeah. Lots of repetitions. Like at first, like I said, I would walk up to the car and I had done no work with him with the car. These first couple of days I walk up to a car. If he knows I'm opening that door, he's trying to run away. He wants nothing to do with it, dude.
Right,
you know what I mean? But like this dog in particular, like he was the kind of dog that like when he's stressed out like that, he doesn't really like to take food. You know what I mean? So when a problem like that, it's like you kind of got to be a little, pushy with dogs like that and show them like, hey, you can do this and nothing bad will happen to you. You know what I mean? So basically, I just kind of like, I would open my door and just like have Buddy there and just like he would, like I said, he's trying to run away. He's all stressed out. So I let him calm down a little bit. I wasn't, I was making sure it was still positive to him. I wasn't, letting it be a negative experience to him because he already has a bad association.
Right.
So I tried food. Like I said, I tried feeding him near, cars and things like that. He didn't want to eat. He just stressed out at the sight of like an open car door, dude. So, but like what I did with him is I had this other dog named Oreo. I used Oreo for some observational learning. So
that goes back to your classroom.
That's work. Yeah. So that's like monkey see, monkey do, basically.
Yeah.
So with Oreo loved getting out of the car. He loved jumping in there. You know what I mean? So with him, I just spent some time walking with them, make sure like let them interact because they're obviously both good with each other. Built that relationship with them.
Oreo and Buddy, you let them basically become friends, essentially.
Basically. Buddy's
build a
got a buddy.
relationship.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, just did like some walks with them, did some, socialization with the two of them. Had them, on spot next to each other for a little bit of time, walks, like I said. And after, like, I was confident that they, liked each other, they wanted to interact with each other, I would let Oreo jump into my truck, right? And he would hang out. And Buddy, at first, he like saw that and he was still wicked nervous about it. But like, I kind of like I said, I just kind of like stayed by my door, just like, hey, like, listen, I understand you're stressed out about this, but it's like, I need you to calm down a little bit, right? So I'm hanging out with him, Oreo's in the truck. He's looking at Oreo. He wants to get in there. I can tell, but he's scared of it, So he got to the point where he would put his paws up there and then jump down.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So once he put his paws up there, I make sure to, praise him, let him know that he's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
But he just kept going like, paws up, down, paws up, down.
Yeah.
So, I got to the point where he would put his paws up and I would just give him like a little bit of guidance, kind of like push his butt up a little bit, just be like, come on, dude, you got it.
Yeah.
Just like after I did a little bit of that and just like I said, showed him like, hey, you can do this. You are capable. Nothing bad's going to happen to you once you do this.
Yeah.
Positive things only can happen,
Yeah.
So, reps of that with, Oreo, I finally got him to get in there on his own, right, of doing that. And then I did it without Oreo, and it was the same thing at first. Like he would put his paws up there and not want to go in there, right?
Yeah.
So I did the same thing, just like, giving him some gentle guidance, getting into the truck. And once he was in there, he started to, like I said, hundreds of reps of it probably now. I still have him. I'm still doing reps with him today,
Yeah.
So, but like after he got used to it, after he learned like, hey, I can do this. Nothing bad is going to happen to me once I'm in this truck. Like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
After he did that, he gained a little bit of confidence. He would start taking food in the truck. So, smooth sailing from there. But yeah, at first, it was definitely, it was rough. It was rough. He did not want to get in that truck.
Yeah.
But like right now, main thing I'm focusing on now is like house protocols. Because I took him to my house one time. And you could tell he's just not used to it. Like, I don't know how many times he's been in the house before.
Right.
But yeah, like, main thing with that is just making sure it's a positive experience, what I mean? Not letting anything, in the environment scare him away.
Right.
Because something like that happens and it's going to work against you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
Right.
to, troubleshoot that and also take it slow with him because he's the type of dog that's like, yeah, you got to be a little pushy with to show him like, hey, you can do this, but you also got to make sure that you're not pushing him too hard.
Right.
You
Right.
got to take it at his pace.
Right. Right.
Kind of take it slow and steady if you need to with certain situations. Some things he picked up very quickly, things that he was unsure about and nervous about, he didn't just want to run away because he kind of went into flight mode, just like, I don't want to do this. So, we just kind of show him like, hey, you can do this. He gains a little bit of confidence. But yeah, walking through the house was definitely a big one for him. Like first time I took him in there, I just, let him chill on his spot, on his place command, on his little pet cot, right? He's hanging out. He fell asleep. I was always good to go. I have an island in my house, like a kitchen island.
Yeah.
I started walking around the island, and like at first he was like fine, but he was like walking like head down, tail down, like wicked nervous.
He's freaking.
Freaking out, stressed out.
Yeah.
And I would like hit the corner of like the island, and he would just pause into the floor, dude. Like, did not want to move any further. So I just kind of kept walking like slowly. I was like, come on, buddy, you got this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I just kept walking around the island until he could do it fine. And like his demeanor started to change a little bit. But I'm still, like I said, I'm still working with that now, still doing repetitions in that, in that scenario.
Yeah.
But I think, it's with him, it's just, like I said, taking it at his pace, but also making sure that it's, a positive thing for him.
Yeah. And a dog like that is a good example of a dog where understanding the science behind dog training, understanding different dog training techniques instead of being stuck in one path.
Exactly.
Because if you're a purely positive trainer and you have that dog, you hit a stopping point
because he doesn't
the
take
dog
food.
Shuts down. He won't take food. So what are you going to do?
Exactly.
If you're a force-only trainer where you're doing e-collar only work,
could make it worse.
You're going to make it worse because you're going to increase the stress, right? So that's where that balance comes in. Important because every dog's different, and Buddy's a good example of that.
Yep.
Nice dog, great dog, but you got to take it a little bit easy with the guy at his pace and help gently move him through the stress so that he can overcome it with time and repetition.
Yeah,
you got to train the owner.
Right. And that's something that we'll get into in a couple weeks here.
That's coming up soon.
Yep, about 2 weeks or a week and a half now.
Exactly.
Or a week and a couple days.
Yeah.
Actually, he's going home pretty soon. But I kind of lost my train of thought there. But
Buddy, good dog. Good dog hanging out.
Good to go.
But one thing you did whenever you started working here, you got to.
I remember what I was going to say. So I associate with dogs like that, working with dogs like that. It's like, you kind of got to be a little pushy with them to show them that you can do these things. I kind of associate it to like parenting almost. Like you have a kid, you have a toddler, might be scared to ride his bike down this hill, or just do a certain activity.
Right.
But being able to kind of like be a little pushy with that kid and be like, hey, like you can do this. It's giving them like that motivation. It's like obviously not the same, communication as you are with the dog.
Right.
So it's like, but it's that same idea. It's like being able to show this toddler or show this dog or this puppy or whatever that they can do this and nothing bad happens. It's like parenting, basically. I mean, I'm not a parent. I have a kid.
Well, maybe one day.
You can say better than me. Maybe one day. But yeah, it's similar.
A lot of things overlap with dogs and kids for sure, because both are mammals. They
learn the same.
Exactly.
They learn
Conditioning
through
applies, but it is different, like you said, different communications,
It is.
because a dog is not gonna
Nonverbal.
A dog typically is not gonna have a verbal outbreak like a child would.
Exactly.
And you've been around my kids. You've seen me.
Oh yeah.
Follow. My kid is running away or whatever, and I'm going to get the kid.
Running into the woods. It's dark.
So, right.
Your toddler's running into the woods. Chad's just.
But one thing you did whenever you started working here, you got exposed to guineas.
Never seen a guinea before. Never seen a guinea before. I like guineas. They're good.
Yep.
They're good.
You got guinea friends.
Chicken friends.
You got chicken friends.
I got some chicken friends that follow me around.
You got cat friends, obviously.
Yep. Kiwi, mango.
All the animals.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
You're going to have your own one day.
My own guinea farm.
Your own guineas.
Guinea and chickens.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely want to like, because where I live now, it's like an HOA. Very, cookie cutter.
Oh, we know HOAs.
We know
the
HOAs.
HOA Facebook page too.
Dude, don't get me started with that. Facebook page definitely out of control.
Yeah.
I'm not going to drop any names here, but But yeah, I definitely would like to move somewhere like where you got going on, some land, some woods, because like I said earlier, like being outside, like being with the animals.
Yep.
So definitely want to lean towards that.
Yep.
But guineas, good to go.
So
Good distraction.
So your long-term game plan, you want to get you some property. What else you got on your long-term game plan? Do you think that far ahead?
Dogs, dude.
Get
some
more
dogs. Yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely because my other thing is especially like dogs that I've trained, like people, some dogs are very, very hard, to maintain the training and to, build respect with.
Right.
So it's like dogs like that like certain people might not be able to, handle or, possibly have to get rid of this dog or this dog possibly getting put down. Or something like that. Like I like to have enough land where I can have like a handful of those dogs that I can give the guidance that they need. And just kind of like use what I know to really let this dog live a good life.
Yeah.
Because like these dogs that have like these limitations, like whether it's dominance or whether it's, aggressiveness or whatever it might be, it's like they're born with that. You know what I mean? A lot of times it's genetic. Sometimes it's learned.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times it's genetic.
Mm-hmm.
Like with that dog recently, that dog was trying to bite my legs. That was genetic. You know, he didn't. I mean, he did learn some of those tendencies.
Starts as genetic, then it becomes stronger learned.
Exactly. So it's like being able to, like I said, take what I know and address these things. And maybe this dog has limitations. Maybe I can use my knowledge to acknowledge these limitations and work with this dog through these limitations possibly.
Mm-hmm.
But to make sure these dogs that are born with these things don't get put down or have to get rid of, or live in a shelter for years.
Why do you think some people struggle with these special case dogs, where they have a hard time, even if they send it to training, they have a hard time with the dog at home? Why do you think why do you think
well, I think the relationship with your personal dog is very complicated.
Right.
Because this dog's getting free affection, things like that. Some people want to give their dog affection all the time.
Right.
If it's a problem dog, that dog's got to earn that. You know what I mean? This dog, like, that's a privilege. So I think, like, because, like, dogs that we train here, like, they know, they have one picture of us. It's either it's when I do the right thing, I get paid. When I do the wrong thing, I get corrected. Right? I get held accountable to what I'm, supposed to be doing. Right? So, with that strict, structure, these dogs, like, naturally just kind of build a sense of respect and kind of know what to expect from us. With their owners is much different, because like I said, these owners might have this dog on the couch, in the bed, something like that, right? Giving this dog free affection, and those things can complicate the the respect building. And especially if it's a dominant dog, some dominant dogs will take that and run with it. What I mean? So it's like they'll take advantage of you. So it's like, these people obviously don't do this every day. These owners don't do this every day, so they can't always acknowledge what they're doing is, could possibly be detrimental to their relationship or to their dog's behavior. Right. But I think, like I said, knowing what I know now, being able to acknowledge those things and, plan accordingly would be nice. So I think, in the future, just have enough land, have enough space where I can do that if I need to, especially if it's a dog that I trained, because if it's a dog that I trained, I got a relationship with this dog. Last thing I want is like to, have this owner get rid of this dog, have this dog go to a shelter. It's the last thing I want, you know what I mean?
Right. There are dogs, unfortunately, that are sometimes, the people are unsuitable for the dog, because maybe you have a dog that has special case scenario or special requirements, and you're telling the owners, like, hey, we need to do X, Y, Z to bring your relationship up to a good level, and they just can't do it because of non-compliance or whatever. Whatever their individual personality is, sometimes someone's personality doesn't allow them to follow protocols specifically to get where they need to be. Right. I can think of one case where I had this, older lady client. She had a very young, like, miniature doodle dog, hyperactive, like super energetic, which obviously needs exercise. Right. And this lady could barely walk from her living room to her dining room, like in her house. Right. And so she'd be calling me. She's like, so-and-so's doing this, so-and-so's doing that. I'd go over, I'd visit with her. I'm like, hey, he needs more exercise. He needs more exercise. And it wasn't like a terrible case, but he just needed more exercise. And it eventually got to the point where I said, hey, this dog might not be suitable for you. We can find him a good home. I can get you a dog that doesn't need this level of exercise, that can be fine with your daily route. She got upset. She's my dog. I'm like, okay. But the dog needs more exercise.
Cross the line there,
right,
dude.
Exactly.
Cross the line.
But sometimes you have those cases,
Yeah.
And so finding a dog, like, matching up with someone's routine, their personality, important. Right. Important.
Right. I mean, I've even had people that really, really love their dog.
Right.
But just can't deal with the stress of their dog, being dominant over them or biting them or something like that. Right. I've had multiple cases like that where it's like people just, have a hard time, handling certain dogs.
Or they just can't hold themselves back from giving free affection.
Right. It's just not,
the
dog's not fit for their lifestyle.
Right.
Not, it's basically when adopting a dog, if you don't, know certain things to look for, it's luck of the draw on what kind of dog you're getting. Right. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get some crazy dogs that you think it's just going to be a good dog. It's going to be a regular, neutral dog. Yeah. But, this dog might have, certain genetic issues, could have certain, maybe, the handling at first, those first couple of weeks being handled by people wasn't properly done. Like, you got to make sure it's a reputable breeder. Right. You know what I mean? So a lot of things come into play. And if you don't know what you're looking for, then you're setting yourself up to possibly get a dog with some limitations.
Yeah.
You know, and people don't want that. People not everyone wants a challenged dog. You know what I mean? People just want a buddy.
Right.
People want a companion.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's not always the case.
Right.
So it's like, yeah.
Well, then you got some people that you've trained too that, you know, they have their training protocols and they say, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And so you got to come up with an alternative
Right.
that satisfies that person's desires.
Right. And it's like, in some cases, some dogs, you know, like you can be a little loose with that. Other dogs, it's like, listen, I'm telling you, you need to do this or you're not going to be successful.
Right.
It's like, because this dog needs this, needs X, Y, and Z. And if you're not going to do that, then this is going to happen.
Right.
And, you know, some people, you know, really respect that and listen to you. And other people are like, I know best.
Yeah.
You know, this is my dog. Right. I know my dog. You know, I know what I can, you know, I know best. I know what I can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely, you know, people's a factor, whether they, you know, are motivated to maintain the training and to, you know, adhere to your guidance. Other people want to, you know, do their own thing, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're just trying to help.
What's one of your favorite things about being a dog trainer?
I mean, I feel like one of my main things for like becoming a dog trainer was like feeling like almost like having like a sense of purpose, like feeling like I'm making a difference in, you know, someone's life or a dog's life or something like that. So I think what it means to me is like I just said, like being able to make that difference and feel like you're, you know, helping people better their lives, whether it's like one person with one dog or if it's a person in a family, you know, setting these people up for success, setting this dog up for success, making sure their lives, you know, are as smoothly, you know, can go as, you know, smoothly, you know, in the future as moving forward with this dog, making sure that goes well, making sure that they have the guidance that they need.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, just like I said, being able to kind of feel like you're making a difference is a big piece of it for me.
Yeah. How did the dynamic change as you were like coming through to your certification? New apprentices are now following behind you, you know, following in your footsteps essentially. Then you start training them a little bit. How's that dynamic? You know, what's your perspective on that? Because now you're training new people. Right.
Or I'm, you know, giving people guidance that have been here the same amount of time as me.
Right.
Or maybe longer than me.
Right.
You know, things like that. So it's like, you know, sometimes that can be challenging, especially if it's someone that's maybe pushing back against you, like, oh, well, I've been here longer than you, you know, just because you're a trainer doesn't mean blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? But it's like, you know, you got to be able to, you know, kind of be assertive in that aspect, especially if it's like a legitimate, you know, scenario that needs to go well. It's like sometimes you got to be direct with people,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But other people, if you're too direct, they shy away from that and they don't learn properly. So it's like, that's the same thing with like clients too.
Yeah.
Like being able to adapt how you're teaching people or talking to people or giving people that guidance. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I definitely, the dynamic, I don't think it like was, you know, a big change or anything like that. Like I think like I still, you know, consider myself equal to all these people, and I don't think just because I'm certified I don't, you know, see myself as better.
Right.
Like I might have a little bit more knowledge,
Right.
but I'm not gonna, you know, walk around with a big head and be like, hey, I know my shit, and you don't. You know what I mean?
Checking your ego is what you're
Exactly.
saying.
You can't let that get to your head, because that gets to your head, then you're gonna just look like an asshole to everybody. You know what I mean? So it's like, like I said, I consider myself to still be equal because I'm still new. You know, I still got things to learn. I still got things I can get better at.
We all got things to learn.
Exactly.
We all got things to
do. And if you think you don't, then you better check yourself.
Every day's a surprise scenario.
Exactly.
Something's going to surprise you.
Exactly.
You know?
But yeah, I definitely think I'm using, you know, my knowledge that I have now to help my fellow apprentices, or my used to be fellow apprentices, get to their certification. And if they're struggling with something, I'll help them through. You know, just, you know, help them through what helped me. You know, just explaining to them like different tools that they could do, different methods they could use to get better at this certain, you know, aspect, whatever that might be, whether it's videos or talking to people or something like that. Yeah, definitely. I think, like, I don't think that the dynamic changed a lot. I just think it's, I don't know. I just think it's, I don't know, it seems regular almost. Like, because like the apprentices that I'm working with now, I have been here longer than. So it's like, it's not really like that same deal with like, I've been here the same amount of time as this person and they look at me some sort of way. Right. But it's like, I don't think there's any, you know, disrespect on that aspect or anything like that. No, I think, you know, like, even the people that have been here longer than me, I think they still, you know, they understand that I put in the work, you know, and that I, you know, kind of earn my stripes and I know my shit. Right. You know, I wouldn't get here if I didn't. Right. So I think it's a tone of, like, I feel like I'm respected.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like I said, I don't look at myself as anything, above anyone here.
I always found whenever I'm training people, whether it's a dog owner or an apprentice or virtual online or whatever, that it kind of helped me figure out.
We do virtual lessons.
We do virtual lessons.
If you're out of state.
But it kind of helped me figure out a way to communicate to different people. And I felt like every time I trained somebody, I got a little bit better at communicating to someone, or even at my own skill set. Because now I'm looking at somebody else, I'm giving them feedback. I'm like, oh, I'm seeing things now in myself that I could change this, change that, fine-tune this, fine-tune that to get better at whatever, So I know that that's something that I look at myself.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm always trying to critique myself and figure out what I can do better and, different things I can do better with different dogs or people or whatever, But
I mean, even like to this day, I'll bring dogs home and be like, hey, maybe I should have explained this more, or maybe I should have harped on this a little more, make sure they fully understand this, this aspect of this training program or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So like, but that's probably not going to change. Like, I'm sure you still have things like that. We're like, oh, I should have discussed this a little more with this person, or I should have, done more reps with this certain dog or something like that. Like this dog's not on point, or this dog's not exactly where I want them to be. I should have done this better.
Yeah.
But then being able to acknowledge that, then in the future you have a dog that might have that same limitation, whether it's a learning limitation or behavioral limitation.
Yeah.
And being able to acknowledge that firsthand and being like, okay, with this dog, I should have done this better. This dog has kind of like that same, personality, those same behaviors. So I'm going to really focus on this and, try to perfect this, just certain, behavioral aspect, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
But I definitely think like being able to acknowledge what you could have done better, whether it's with a dog or with a person, is definitely important. Yeah. And that also, it comes with experience too. It's like it's all it is.
Yeah.
Getting reps of handling certain scenarios.
Right.
But definitely important.
Well, good to go, Danny. We appreciate you being here.
Yes, sir.
Part of Canine Revolution Dog Training, dude.
Good to be here.
Good to go, obviously.
Yes, sir.
Don't forget, for the listener, Canine Revolution Dog Training, you can work with Danny.
You could.
You can.
If you want to.
Have your dog trained by Danny, and you trained by Danny.
Hell yeah.
Our phone number is 843-213-2676. Email is info@caninerevolutiondogtraining.com. So if you're like, hey, I want Danny to train my dog, you just say, hey, I want Danny to train my dog. That's all you need to email us or text us.
Let me know.
Danny will get you squared away real quick.
Hell yeah. Real quick.
Exactly. So, we do board and train lessons. We do private lessons. We do virtual lessons. We do free in-home consultations if you're in our area. If you want Danny to do a consultation, just email us or text us. I want Danny to do an in-home consultation.
Let me know. Put me to the test.
Exactly.
Put me to the test.
We also have Canine Revolution apparel. So if you want to wear a Revolution hoodie, if you want to wear a Revolution T-shirt, which Danny had to earn.
Rep the brand.
Danny had to earn his uniforms.
I did.
Right, with that certification. Got that green
shirt.
That green
shirt. That green sweatshirt.
Green hoodie, dude.
The blue sweatshirt.
Oh, yeah. So
good to go.
But
the Carhartt.
Exactly.
The Carhartt.
The Carhartt.
Don't forget the Carhartt. Those cold days outside.
Danny's an apprentice. His hoodie's tore up from dog bites. He's like, can I get a new hoodie? We're like, no. When you certify.
Yeah, right. Yep.
But for you, the listener, you can go to Canine Revolution Apparel on Amazon. You can get you a hoodie. You can get you a shirt. You can get you a mug. You can get you a beanie, whatever you want, right? You can represent.
Hell yeah.
You can support. So when you're listening to Danny talk on future podcasts or videos, you can be representing while you're watching. And it makes you better, right?
Hell
makes you a better trainer, because as soon as you get that Canine Revolution Apparel hoodie, you put it on, boom, instant knowledge. You get better at training your own dog. That's proven fact.
Yeah, well, that could be not so true.
Our other affiliate, We Feed Raw dog food delivered to your door. Optimal diet for your dog. You can use the discount code Canine Revolution, all caps, no spaces, 25% off. You can cancel a meal plan at any time, but you will see improvement in your dog as soon as you get them on that raw diet. I know me personally, my Doberman, he has one gray hair. One gray hair.
Not anymore. He plucked it out.
Well, yeah, I might pluck it out. But
he plucked it out.
But that raw diet keeps him young, dude.
Hell yeah.
Keeps him young. He's like 10 years old this year.
He's healthy.
Crazy.
He's still
He's
running
healthy.
around.
He's running around. He
every
goes
day.
up to Danny.
Oh yeah.
You know, he
likes
sees
me,
Danny.
dude.
Oh yeah, he
likes me.
loves Danny.
Chad's like, be careful.
Yeah.
He doesn't like being pet. Like, dude, he's putting his head in my lap, dude. What do you mean?
That's how he lures you in.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
how
what
he
Chad
lures you in.
says. He's a good dog.
JC's sitting at the table. Bane goes up to her. She starts rubbing him. I'm like, don't do that, JC. She's like, oh.
Well, Georgia, dude.
yeah.
When you went to Hawaii, Georgia and Bane and Aaron was here watching them. I was like helping her carry something to the back porch, whatever. She let the dogs out, right? The dogs come up to me. They're hanging out. I'm like, give these dogs some hot dogs.
Yeah. Okay.
So I made them sit, gave them some hot dogs. One hot dog. Georgia's following me around, dude. She's following me around. I'm walking back to the kennel room, and I hear just behind me. I'm like, what the hell? Like, behind me, Georgia's right there. I'm like, about to walk into the kennel room. I'm like, Georgia, down. So I close the door, and I was like, Georgia, heel. I walk up to the porch with her. I was like, hey, can you take her inside? Because she wants my hot dogs, dude. Bane, he's good to go.
Georgia loves food. Let's just say that. She loves food. She's a food hound.
Oh, yeah.
Food hound.
Oh, yeah. She'll follow you.
100%. She'll find it. If it's out there, she'll
It's
find
like Butch.
it.
Butch the chicken, dude. He
Butch
follows
the
me
chicken
around.
Loves Danny.
He follows me around, dude. He knows high fives, dude. I can hold it up.
Danny's training. You
He'll
hear
jump
footsteps behind you. It's Butch.
It's Butch
Because
stuff.
he's got big footsteps because he's a big rooster.
Yeah. He's a big boy. He's Mac Daddy Butch, dude.
Exactly.
He's
Don't
good.
look at him like he's a meal, though. Don't look at him like he's a meal.
hey, dude. It's fried chicken. Don't get
Hey,
too
but
close, Butch.
Butch does like we feed raw, too. Just so you know.
does
Oh,
he?
yeah. Oh, yeah. He'll eat anything. Butch.
I mean, he
well,
will.
first, he always makes sure that his ladies are taken care of.
Mm.
So if he has some food available, he's making his call. He's letting the ladies know, hey, we got food here. They come, they eat. When they're done, when they're satisfied, then he eats.
Not always. Sometimes he steals it. Sometimes he'll take it from the ladies.
Well, if the ladies have already been satisfied,
If he's hungry, dude.
then he's like, okay, I can eat now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But he takes care of the ladies.
He does.
He's running the roost.
He lets them know.
Exactly.
I'll drop a hot dog. He's like, burp, burp, burp. Letting them know. You see a hen running over. Like, thanks, Butch.
Chicken dynamics, dude. Good
Yeah, dude.
distractions for dogs.
Yeah, very good, dude.
100%.
Especially when they follow you around.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
those dogs. Get used to the chickens real quick, dude, because they're always around you.
Exactly. So we got We Feed Raw. You can go to their website, use the discount code Canine Revolution, all caps, no spaces. We got Canine Super Supplements. Letter K, number 9, supersupplements.com. They've got the weight gainer. They've got the multivitamin. They've got the puppy formula. They've got the joint support. You can add that to your dog's food, whether it's kibble or raw food or something else. Discount code Canine Revolution, all caps, no spaces. That's 15% off. And we do use the weight gainer regularly.
Oh, yeah.
We get a lot of dogs into training. They have a high metabolism, or they come into training underweight. We need to bring them up to weight. Weight gainer for the win.
Yep.
Right? You had a Great Dane, I want to say, that was coming into training, super skinny, whether high metabolism or something else going on. Added the weight gainer,
Good to
boom,
go.
she's good to freaking
Good to go.
Good to
Yep.
freaking go.
I had another German Shepherd puppy. I was giving him some weight gain while he was here, and then I recommended to his owner. I was like, hey, if you want to maintain this.
Oh, Kaiser?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kaiser. Yep.
Oh, yeah, because he came in. He was a rescue.
Yeah, he was a rescue. He just
And,
he found him in like a church parking lot or something.
Right, super
But
skinny.
Super skinny.
Comes to training.
Comes to training,
Needs
weight
to
gainer.
gain weight.
Yep, weight gainer. Good to go.
Put
Gained
the
some weight.
Yep.
He's definitely gained some pounds, but not ideal. Not muscle mass is not ideal.
Oh,
So I was
yeah.
like, hey, if you want to maintain, his growth, his health, some weight gainer, dude.
Right.
I sent him the link. Put him on the weight gainer. Good to go.
Good to go.
Good to go.
Good
He's
to go.
healthy. He's
and
happy.
they love it. They love it.
Dude, they
love
do
the
love
weight
it.
gainer.
Hey, it smells good.
Exactly.
I will say.
You could drink it too.
I don't know about that. It smells damn good, though.
It does. It does. And last but not least, we got JockoFuel. So Danny knows Jocko, made in America, sourced in America. Danny's got the Origin jeans.
Oh, yeah. Two pairs.
Danny's got the boots coming.
Tomorrow, dude.
Oh, tomorrow.
Or
Oh,
today,
Today.
actually.
Oh,
That should be
big
here
day,
today.
dude.
Unless
Big day.
UPS is lying to me. Sometimes they lie.
They do that.
But, yeah.
But JockoFuel.com, they've got supplements for you. Whether that's an energy drink like the Jocko Go. That way you're getting after it and not poisoning
brain
yourself.
supplements. The
'Cause
brain supplements.
The brain
dude.
supplements, too. The brain power.
Yeah. Good to go.
Well, we know Monster, trash. Bang, trash.
Hey.
Rain,
Hey,
trash.
hey.
What's the other ones? Celsius, trash. All these are trash, right?
You like
Not good for
Celsius.
you.
Ben likes Celsius. And he likes
Sourced in
Monster.
China. Not good for you. Sourced in China. Not good for you, dude. One day there was a energy drink sitting on the counter in the kennel. think it was a Monster, so I put a piece of tape on it that said made in China. I thought it was Danny's or JC's, one of the two.
It was Kevin's.
It was Kevin. He's like, what the hell? I was like, what are you doing drinking this trash, dude? But Jocko, good to go.
Jocko's got to
Fuel.
get in the gas stations, dude.
They're trying.
Then I'll pick them up.
They're trying.
I'll pick it up a little more.
They're
but
trying.
hey,
They got protein. They got brain supplements. They got the Go energy drinks. They got multivitamin. They got green. They got
Hydrate.
white tea.
the
They
hydrate,
got the
dude.
Hydrate. Hydrate's good.
Healthy Gatorade.
100%. Dude. No fillers in it.
Nope.
No artificial
No
shit
sugar.
in it. All good for you, right?
Good to go.
And you know, my wife Lauren, she's on the blue raspberry energy drinks.
Those are good.
Oh yeah.
Pink lemonade. Good.
Oh, pink
Good to
lemonade.
go.
That's her secondary.
Hell yeah.
And if she doesn't, if she runs out, she's pissed, dude. So I got to constantly keep tabs on her stock
Is she pissed?
and keep ordering.
Is she pissed from
case.
the no Jocko, or is it caffeine withdrawals?
No, she's pissed because she doesn't have the drink she wants when she wants it.
Okay.
So I keep her stocked up, dude. That's priority. That's priority.
Oh, well, you know.
Well,
Happy wife, happy life.
Also, one time I think your mother came out to unlock your truck for you.
Yep.
I think she got a Jocko that, did she? I sent a Jocko home with you to give her.
Oh,
you drank
you
them.
did. I didn't drink both of them.
You didn't give her the Jocko.
I did give her one, dude. And then she ordered a case, dude. So good to go. She used the promo code, Canine Revolution. Good to go.
She got her discount, 10% off. All good, dude.
Yeah. Hell
All
yeah.
good.
Hell yeah. The
But-
milk. Don't forget the milk,
The
dude.
milk,
The
good.
milk's good to go.
Oh, 100%. I have
I
it
like
every
some
day.
milk.
Cookies and cream milk.
Hell yeah.
It's freaking good, dude.
It's
You need
good.
that protein
Hell yeah.
because you got to have good muscle.
Hell yeah.
Just like the dog needs the weight gainer, you got to have the milk,
Exactly.
right, to stay on top of your game.
Exactly.
Longevity too,
Right.
right? Because
Right.
in our profession, you got to be able to perform long term.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
For
So
sure.
you need that protein.
Gotta maintain that health, dude.
Exactly. You need that go. You
Gotta
need to
stay
be working
healthy.
out.
Gotta stay
you know?
energized.
You got to walk the dogs.
Mhm.
You got to do your pull-ups, your push-ups,
Yeah.
your
Your
carries,
bench press, your deadlifts.
your deadlifts. You got to carry your dog food.
Yeah, dude.
You know?
Sometimes 2 bags at a time. You better be ready, dude.
Exactly. Sometimes you got to carry dogs.
Yeah.
Dog goes down for whatever reason. Pick that dog up. Let's go.
Yep. We're
Sometimes you got to carry a fellow trainer if they collapse. You know?
Hasn't happened before, but
It has happened before.
Oh, really?
Before your time.
oh, really?
Kevin got super sick one time.
What?
Yeah. Fell down. Ugh.
Oh no.
I was like, what the hell? Go home. But yeah, good times. Good
Gotta
times.
stay healthy.
But anyway, thanks for listening, guys. Danny will be on future podcasts, but now you know him.
Yep.
You know his background.
I'm
You know
Danny.
he's hung out with raccoons before. You know he's an animal guy. You know he likes camping.
I like dogs.
You know he likes dogs for sure. 100%.
Mhm.
100%. You need to get some cats too, dude.
I don't like cats.
You don't like
I'm
cats?
not a cat person.
What?
No.
You said you're an animal person.
Cats, they're down on the list.
Well, you'll
Dogs,
come around.
top of the list. Raccoons, top of the
You'll-
list. Possums, dude.
We got this cat right here licking his ass while we're sitting here
genitals.
talking.
Look at his genitals, dude.
Licking his genitals, bro. So anyway, thank you guys for listening. Don't forget, go to the YouTube channel, Pack Talk Podcast, Canine Revolution. Subscribe. Let us know what content you need to see on there. Trying to help you guys out with that. Right? We're recording a lot of new YouTube videos now. I got a tripod that follows
Free
me around.
info. Oh,
Yep.
yeah, technology.
Well, Danny's loving my technology
It's advancing.
because the tripod's following me. Danny's like, dude, you like that thing, huh?
Well,
Like,
Ben's going to be out of a job, dude.
yeah, well,
we got to.
you know,
well,
see
we
if
still
keep him
we got the
around.
podcast, dude.
We'll see if we'll keep him around.
We can't.
you know?
Yeah.
We got AI, we got robots. Who knows what's going to happen in the future?
We got no
you
idea.
know? So anyway, thanks for listening, guys. And until next time, this is Pack Talk Podcast.